All right. I can only assume that this is live. So, hi guys. I'm just trying this out. I'm using my Osmo. I'm thinking about doing this live either through YouTube or possibly through Facebook Live as just as another way of finding fun ways to connect through the Relate Nate challenge I gave myself. And the two that I wanted to do, and this may not even take 8 minutes. I'm just trying this out and seeing if I can get enough stuff done before my battery dies at 24% of this Osmo, and I'll have to upload the next one. But there's this general complaint at CSF, at Combined Section Meetings, as the National Conference for Physical Therapists in the United States, that most of our presenters seem to have followed more ritualistic, call it more academic or research-based ways of presenting. And while that's great in that terms, at conferences, we need a little bit more live action. And the general consensus was that most of the speakers were reading off the slides, and that's not the most effective way to speak. And so I wanted to share a couple of my tips. We did very well for our group. Shout out to Greg Todd, Rich Severin, and Brett Krestenbaum from New Grad Physical Therapy, Rich from PT Review, and Greg Todd from Smart Success PTs. But all of us spoke together about social PT, and our entire talk trended on Twitter, which was amazing. And it came to us that for the most part, PTs, when we put on our speaker hats, we lose it. We're so engaging in person, but we tend to lose a bit of that, on the stage. And so here are some tips. Number one, make sure your slides are good. And when I mean slides are good, I mean there's some cool rules out there. One of the ones I really like is the 6 and 60 rule. Make sure that you have no more than 6 words and no font less than 60. I breach that a lot because I'm a little bit academic in my head, but I try to break it down so that it's common pictures, meaningful words, things that stick, so that the audience doesn't read the slides with me as I read the slides, but they're looking and engaging with me. The slides are just there as a background or as a timing effect. Sorry, I just bumped the mic right there. And that's huge. Timing is a big deal. There was very poor timing from the sessions I saw. Not that the content was bad, it's just the delivery mechanisms. It's just kind of like getting used to a new clinical setting. So part of being a public speaker when you're on stage is you need to have dramatic pauses. Some of the fun ones that I used was I did this thing with Charlie Sheen and that little whole the Obama thing that said hope, but it was Charlie Sheen and it said winning. And so I said that we would be click, and that whole meme showed up and we got some chuckles, and then I said winning. And so it allowed for people to process the visual and then re-center back on me. The other thing too is don't get locked behind the podium. A lot of speakers get blocked by the podium and you lose this ability because you have this physical wall between you and your audience. And that can be challenging, especially if the technology doesn't allow for it. But all of us at the Social PT Talk, we left the podium and we started walking amongst the audience. That's something I personally love doing because I love walking around the audience. I just think it's a much more engaging way of going about a public speaking, gig or venue or a task. And it begs the, it looks like I'm 3 minutes in. That's kind of cool. I can time myself. It begs the question, and we had a lot of conversation, can this be trained? Are some people just naturally better speakers than others? And yes, but this is coming from me. And what does that mean? Well, it means that for ages, I stuttered. Writing was my worst subject in school, and I would not speak in front of anybody ever. In fact, I would send my little sister to go buy, fast food for us because I didn't want to be the one. Actually, introverts. It's not that they're shy per se. It's just that I'm going to recenter this thing here. This way. Whatever. That way. Boom, boom. So this is another skill, right? Live broadcasting, looking here, not down at the screen. But really, the whole thing is there's a lot of really talented actors out there that are actually quite introverted. They like to hang out by themselves. They're not huge party animals. They like smaller groups, and that's definitely me. But when I'm on stage, I see it as a different way of projecting the expertise that I have in delivering the content. And my background is also in performing arts, in music. I'm a traditionally trained pianist, and I also have dabbled in other instruments, but very much when I'm on stage, I'm delivering a new way of communicating that's different from sitting down and having coffee. You have to have stage presence. You need to know how to pause. You need to know how to engage in certain areas of the room. That's actually a trick. If you're in a very large setting for speaking, don't try to connect eyes to eyes because you won't see anybody. What you do is you connect at certain points of the room so that the audience feels like you're engaging them, because quite honestly, they can barely see your face and you can barely see theirs, but if you can make eye contact, that's also really cool. That's something I like to do, and that's why I like to go amongst the audience, because I like to go around and just drill into somebody who's falling asleep. Now, here's a couple other tips off the top of my head. This is completely impromptu, so I'm just having fun now, and hopefully this records decently. We're 5 minutes in, so just enough time. Oh yeah, and this is my little office thing. You can peek over my head and you can see right, that's my usual background. I just finished a little recording for UpDoc Media on the the takeaways for CSM. But truly, the skill of being a connector at conferences when you're speaking, you've got to not read stuff off the slides. What you need to do is use slides to refocus on content shifts, like when you're changing topics within your talk, and then to focus that back on you. It's very important not to be monotone. You have to be able to change your tone and change your pitch and change the cadence of how you speak, especially when you have something important to say. And when you do have something important to say, it's great to pause. Again, it's that whole cadence and being able to be comfortable in the room. Something one of my actually an acting TA, I saw him as a coach, and he helped me a lot in terms of my ability to be on stage, is walk around the stage, fumble around like an idiot until you feel comfortable, and then you'll start to realize certain things. You also recognize, I might trip on that wire there, or the stage rattles too much, so I need to come down from the stage to engage the audience, or I need to stay within a certain area of the stage so I don't cause a distraction for myself. And it's really truly a skill set. Just like bedside mannerisms is a skill set that clinicians learn, some better than others, stage speaking is another skill set that I feel like we really do need to have, especially if we're to connect with our communities, our local communities, because they will look to us as experts. They already do. They're waiting for us to take the stage and to share the value that we can bring to their lives so that we can all elevate the situation and transform society. So that's my little bit. We're 7 minutes and 30 seconds in, so I did pretty good with that. And I'm at 12% of battery, so that's pretty cool. And I'm doing this without an SD card. I'm just broadcasting, seeing how it goes. Let me know if you like this. I have another one planned, and we'll just see how that goes. And I'm playing with this. I have this fantasy of doing this live instead of recording it and all that stuff, because I just think live is just a much more fun platform. So this has been a live version of Relate Nate about how to be a strong connector as a conference speaker. And just remember, this is a skill set, and the skill set has to do with stage performance and being comfortable on stage as you engage an entire audience, but also be able to singularly affect people as if you were always only talking to them. All right, this is Dr. Ben Funk signing out. Soon. Hopefully. I don't even know how to stop this thing. Here we go. All right. See you later.